Hi, Phyllis here. We're getting ready to make sweet potato muffins, and here are the ingredients. You'll need 1½ cups of White Lily self-rising flour, and you need to sift that and then measure it. 1 cup of mashed sweet potatoes, 1 cup of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/3 cup oil, and 2 large eggs. You'll also need a 12-cup muffin pan. Now this pan has been greased and dusted with flour. Okay, we're ready to get started. First thing we're going to do is pour our oil in our mixing bowl. Next, we're going to put the 1 cup of sugar in. Go ahead and dump all the eggs, or both eggs, excuse me. And now we're going to use the mixer. Now we're not using any salt because our flour already has salt in it. Alright, that's about all you need to do there. I'm going to go ahead and put in my 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And that's kind of clumped together, so I'm going to dump it out in my hand and mash it out. That's 1/4 teaspoon. That's one of the secret ingredients in the muffins. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Now I'm going to go ahead and dump in my mashed sweet potatoes. Now the sweet potatoes, you want to bake them first. Now this is just 2 medium sweet potatoes. Bake them first because that way you retain all the potassium and a lot of the vitamins. And then take the peeling off and just mash them up and just measure out 1 cup, and that'll be about 2 medium sweet potatoes. Alright, now we're just going to mix them up again real quick. Alright, you don't have to mix that very long. Now, the last thing we're going to put in is the sifted flour. We're going to mix them up very quickly once we put the flour in. So I'll dump about half of it in. Mix it up. Remember, these are muffins, so you want to mix them up pretty fast once you put the flour in. Dump the rest of it in. You can see that. I'm going to work that in very quickly. And remember, you don't want to do too much beating when you've got baking powder with flour. If you've got a few little lumps in it, that's okay, because some of the sweet potatoes are a little lumpy too. Alright, there's our muffin mix. Now I'm going to dump that into the tins, and we're going to bake these at 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. Now you can use a spoon for this, but I like, since I've got the large 8-cup measuring cup, it's got a little spout on it, I usually just pour it in, fill the cups really about 2/3 full. And just, that one's got a little too much. Now we've got a secret ingredient, another secret ingredient on this, in the form of a lemon glaze. And I'm going to show you how to make that as soon as these get done. And of course they will make a pretty healthy muffin because of the sweet potatoes. Alright, you want to try to divide it up among 12 of the 10s. Alright, now I'm going to make the 12th one, I'm just going to dip some out of a few of these that are fuller, because I definitely want 12. And another one, there's one. Just get some from that one, a little from that one. Got a little more in the pan. Alright, put some back in that one. A little more in that one. Okay. We're now going to bake these again at 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes, and you want to check them, you know, when it's 25 minutes to see if they're done, because you do want them moist, so you want to make sure you don't over bake them. Alright, we'll be back in just a minute as soon as these get done. Alright, our muffins are done now, and we're going to put a secret lemon sauce on them. To make the sauce, you're going to need 3 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and we're going to use confectionery sugar. And there's no exact measurement, you just want the sauce to end up kind of runny. So that looks like about a cup, maybe a cup and a fourth. We're just going to stir that up. It's almost like an icing, except thinner. And if it still has lumps in it, don't worry about that. Again, the burner's not on. I just use the burner to melt the butter. Now let me see if I can get my little whisk here. There it is. Do this real quick. Alright, that sort of gets most of the lumps out. Alright. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to poke my spoon in the muffin and allow some of this to run inside. Let me move this around so you can see it better. Okay. Now watch this. I'm going to just take a little spoonful. I'm going to go like that, just like you were putting butter in there. And I'm going to let that run in. See? I'm going to do each one this way. Let it run right down into the muffin. Now the lemon goes really, really well with the sweet potato, because the sweet potato is a little bit bland, and you get the lemon in there and you've got some of the acid. Just stick that spoon right down in there and let that run in there. See, I'm sticking my spoon in as I'm dumping it out. All right. Now this kind of takes the place of putting butter in it. Of course, you've got 3 tablespoons of butter in the sauce, but you've also got the lemon juice. Got a lot in there this time. Let's get some of that back up there. All right, one more. All right, that belongs to me. All right, we're going to serve some of these now. Now to get them out, I'm just going to use a fork. And remember, they're still warm. So I'm going to take one out. And they'll come out easier when they're cool, a little more cooled. Okay. I'm going to take some of the sauce, and now I'm going to let it run down over the muffin. Now, to bake these, I used a non-stick pan, but I also greased and floured the pan. And you see the pan is dark? You see how dark the bottom's got? So if you're using one of these kind of pans like I did, I would suggest you just do a strip of aluminum foil and put it in the oven on the rack and set the pan on it. Now if you've got just aluminum tins like this, then it wouldn't do that. But anyway, let's look at the bottom of one of these. See, it's a little dark, but not too dark. I mean, it's okay. But anyway, so now we're going to enjoy this, and I get the first taste. All right, let me try this. All right, first let me show you the middle of it. See how moist that is? Isn't that so moist? I'm going to try a taste of it. Still kind of hot. It tastes like sweet potato and lemon. Okay. All right. I hope you'll try these. They're very inexpensive to make and very easy. You see the length of time it took to mix them up. The only thing that would take time is you have to bake your sweet potatoes before. But the best way to do that is bake a whole bunch of sweet potatoes and then freeze them. And you can freeze them right in the peeling and put them in a little plastic bag or a little plastic earthbound container. Put them in the freezer and they'll keep for months. So anyway, there you go. Sweet potato muffins. And we'll be back next time with more recipes. Alright, here's the recipe for the sweet potato muffins. You'll need a muffin pan that has 12 little cups in it. And you'll need to grease and dust that with flour. You'll need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and these are going to bake for 25 to 30 minutes. And there's what you'll need. Okay, the secret ingredient is the 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Now, you don't want to put cinnamon in this, just the nutmeg. And you also don't need any salt because you're using self-rising flour. Now, here's the other secret ingredients, the lemon glaze. And again, with the lemon glaze, you want to take a small teaspoon and just poke a hole in it while the teaspoon has the sauce in it and let it run down in the muffin. Alright, there it is again. Let me show you up top. Alright, and then there's the glaze recipe. Okay, I hope you'll try these and enjoy them.